It all started as a tiny, barely noticeable bump on Sarah's forearm. At first, she dismissed it as an insect bite or a small bruise, but within a week, the bump had grown to the size of a marble. She began to worry and booked an appointment with her doctor. Despite numerous tests, the doctors couldn't identify the nature of the growth. They recommended a biopsy, but Sarah's insurance didn't cover the procedure, leaving her to cope on her own. Days turned into weeks, and the mass continued to expand. It started affecting her daily life, causing persistent aches and a strange tingling sensation. One night, she noticed it had grown small extensions, like tiny roots embedding themselves into her skin. The gross color shifted from a pale flesh tone to a dark, almost metallic hue. Panic set in as she realized it was taking over her arm. Determined not to let it control her, Sarah consulted numerous specialists, holistic healers, and even spiritual advisors, but no one had answers. The mass grew more aggressive, creeping toward her torso and leaving her right arm almost completely immobile. Her once bright spirit dimmed under the constant pain and the grim reality of her transformation. As the growth consumed more of her body, Sarah noticed a disturbing change. Her senses began to sharpen. Colors became more vibrant, sounds more distinct, and even her sense of smell intensified. The growth was not just altering her physical form, it was also changing her perception. In a bizarre twist, she discovered she could now communicate with the growth. It pulsed and hummed in response to her thoughts, revealing fragments of its origin. It was not of this world, but rather an ancient entity searching for a host to survive. Sarah's fear gradually turned into a grudging acceptance. Over months, her body evolved, merging with the entity into a new, hybrid form. The pain subsided, replaced by a strange symbiosis. She could no longer recognize herself in the mirror, but she had gained extraordinary abilities, strength, heightened senses, and an otherworldly awareness. Sarah was no longer just human. She had become the embodiment of an ancient force. Accepting her fate, she set out to discover the full extent of her new existence and the purpose of the entity within her. The world had changed for her in unfathomable ways, but with change came a new path, one she was ready to explore.